Did you know that Blake Lively was criticized for being insensitive due to comments she made while promoting the movie It Ends With Us? Or that Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck are getting divorced after only 2 years of marriage? Today, you'll discover the 20 biggest celebrity scandals of all time. Let's check it out. It's fascinating. Blake Lively's insensitivity. It Ends With Us is a romantic film that has generated both interest for its story and controversy for the behind-the-scenes conflicts. Starring Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, who also directed, it has become a hot topic on social media because rumors of a strained relationship between the co-stars have been constant since filming began. These rumors include claims that the actress and director struggled to establish good chemistry, leading to a tense atmosphere on set. Sources say one of the most awkward situations occurred when Baldoni, concerned about a scene where he had to lift Lively, allegedly asked someone about her weight, which reportedly made the actress feel humiliated. But she isn't blameless either, as both have promoted the film separately, which is unusual for a romance production. What stands out the most is Blake's peculiar approach to promoting a film whose themes include abuse and emotional trauma experienced by the female lead. Fans were not pleased that she didn't take seriously a production that sheds light on issues faced by millions of women daily. In fact, in each of her interviews promoting the film, she chose to sell it from a light and almost festive perspective. Furthermore, in a promotional TikTok video, Lively invites viewers to gather their friends, wear their floral dresses, and go see the movie. This marketing strategy, which could seem harmless in another context, was met with skepticism and criticism due to the film's serious and sensitive content. Additionally, the actress took advantage of the film's promotion to launch her new hair care product line called Blake Brown and to boost her beverage company, Betty Buzz. This focus on her businesses during the promotion of a film with such a sensitive theme was viewed by many as a concerning disconnect between the actress and the film's message, as instead of using her platform to raise awareness about domestic violence, she has been criticized for trivializing the plot by focusing on selling products and promoting a superficial image, preferring to draw attention to her own fashion style and her husband's movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck's divorce. The love story between the famous singer and the renowned actor seemed straight out of a fairy tale when it began over 20 years ago. In the summer of 2002, their paths crossed for the first time, and before long, they became one of Hollywood's most talked-about couples. Their romance blossomed quickly, and by the end of that year, they shocked the world with their engagement. But what appeared to be a perfect destiny was overshadowed by the disastrous experience of co-starring in the movie Giggly. This box office and critical failure, coupled with media pressure, led them to postpone the wedding and eventually split. For nearly 2 decades, they went their separate ways until 2021, when they surprised everyone by reuniting. Their new romance rekindled the spark they once shared, culminating in a dream wedding in 2022. The couple sealed their love with an intimate ceremony, followed by a romantic honeymoon at the idyllic Lake Como in Italy. But their happiness was short-lived, as Ben felt uncomfortable with the constant presence of paparazzi and could not fully enjoy their honeymoon. According to close sources, during what should have been the happiest time of their lives, they barely spoke to each other. As their marriage progressed, problems began to escalate. Instead of celebrating their second anniversary, the singer filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. This surprising turn of events left the world stunned, especially when it was revealed that the couple had put their luxurious Beverly Hills mansion on the market for an astounding price of $68 million. What created even more uncertainty was the absence of a prenuptial agreement, which could prolong the divorce process far longer than expected. While the public continues to speculate about the real reasons behind the breakup, a close source suggested that despite the deep love they shared, Ben's erratic mood swings and the toxicity surrounding their relationship were decisive factors. After multiple attempts to overcome their obstacles, the singer ultimately decided to end this tumultuous love story, closing the chapter on one of Hollywood's most complicated relationships. Taylor Swift and Scooter Braun dispute. The situation between the singer and the music producer has been one of the most discussed conflicts in the music industry in recent years. It all started in 2019 when Scooter Braun, a prominent manager for artists like Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber, acquired Big Machine Label Group, the record label that owned the rights to Taylor Swift's first 6 albums. The deal, for which Braun paid $330 million, granted him total control over the recordings of the Cruel Summer singer, as well as the rights to music videos and artwork related to her first 6 albums. For her part, the artist claimed she was never informed about the sale and found out at the same time as the public when the news broke in the media. This was especially problematic for Swift, who had previously expressed her desire to regain ownership of her master recordings. But according to her, the conditions offered by Big Machine were not fair. As tensions escalated, Taylor expressed her disappointment and anger over the sale and accused Braun of harassment, mentioning several incidents in which he, along with other associates, supposedly contributed to a campaign to damage her career. She also pointed out that the music producer prevented her from performing her own songs at television events and in a documentary she was producing. In response to the issue, she announced that she would re-record her first 6 albums to regain control over her music. This began in 2021 with the release of Fearless, Taylor's version, which included all the songs from the original album, along with new tracks that had not been released before. This move was highly praised by her fans and marked a significant moment in her career as she was able to indirectly regain ownership of her work. The saga between the artist and the producer also sparked a significant discussion about musicians' rights and their creations, leading countless fans to declare that artists should own their compositions. Justin Bieber cheating on Selena Gomez. To say that the relationship between this pair was tumultuous is an understatement. Their romance, which spanned nearly a decade, has been one of the most intensely covered and debated stories in the media. Over the years, many rumors have circulated, but neither Justin nor Selena openly discussed all the details of their relationship, allowing their songs to serve as the most intimate reflection of their emotions. In 2020, both returned to the music scene, and their new albums seemed loaded with messages about their past together. Selena released Rare, an album filled with themes that allude to her complicated relationship with Bieber. The title track describes a relationship in which she felt ignored, deceived, and unappreciated for how special she was. Moreover, her first single, Lose You to Love Me, goes a step further, expressing the need to say goodbye to her ex in order to find herself and heal. Meanwhile, Justin also released new music, showing a more mature and reflective side. In his song All Around Me, he admitted to being disrespectful to women and not giving his best in his relationships due to his ongoing struggle with addiction. Though he did not explicitly mention Selena, he seems to acknowledge that he was inconsiderate towards her during their time together. This is just the beginning, as the rumor that Justin began cheating on Selena with Hailey Baldwin dates back long before their separation in 2017, and even Taylor Swift hinted that Justin had cheated on her best friend. In any case, what is clear is that the baby singer has finally found stability with Hailey, with whom he married and started a family, welcoming their baby named Jack Blues Bieber. Prince Harry leaves the royal family. Spare is the book written by the son of King Charles III and Princess Diana, where he reveals in detail all the events that led him to resign from his role in the British royal family. Within its pages, he refers to Prince William as his arch-nemesis due to various disputes they had over the years, including the fact that his older brother was always the heir to the throne, while he felt like a spare prince. This tension between the brothers is not new. In fact, Harry explained that on the day he was born, Charles III told Diana that he had given her an heir and a spare, implying that their work was done. But the rivalry didn't just pertain to titles and roles in the royal family, as Harry recalls how a discussion with William about Meghan Markle turned violent. According to the Duke of Sussex, the fight began when his brother labeled his wife as difficult and rude. As the insults escalated, the Prince of Wales grabbed him by the neck and threw him to the ground to demonstrate his anger. The last and perhaps most scandalous revelation from his book suggests that his father used to joke about his paternity, sometimes asking him, "Who knows if I'm your real father?" in reference to the rumor that his real parent was James Hewitt, one of Princess Diana's lovers during her marriage to the future king. Furthermore, then Prince Charles joked that Lady Di's lover and Harry shared the same red hair, which he used as a weapon to make Harry feel like he was not a legitimate member of the royal family. Dua Lipa accused of plagiarizing 80s songs. For many, the 80s represent a golden decade that gave us unforgettable music. Apparently, the English singer shares that same passion for the era, though not in the way we might have expected. In recent years, she has been repeatedly accused of plagiarizing songs from some of the most successful artists of past decades, causing quite a stir in the music industry. The first controversy arose with her hit, "Break My Heart," released in 2020. When you listen to it, it's hard to ignore the similarities to the classic "Need You Tonight" by the Australian band INXS, released in 1987. The melody, rhythm, and even some phrases in the second verse seem to have been taken directly from that 80s hit. But that's not all. That same year, in collaboration with Miley Cyrus, she released "Prisoner," a song many compared to Olivia Newton-John's "Physical." The chorus of both songs is alarmingly similar, and to add fuel to the fire, the second verse of "Prisoner" seems to borrow from "I Was Made for Lovin' You," the 1979 hit by the band Kiss. Her song "Love Again" was also accused of copying "Your Woman" by Whitetown, a 1997 hit that itself references the song "My Woman" by the Ray Noble Orchestra, recorded in the 1930s. Perhaps these similarities are no mere coincidences, as "Break My Heart" and "Love Again" are both part of the album Future Nostalgia, a project that, as the name suggests, seeks to capture sounds of the past to build the songs of the future. Robert Downey Jr. spent 1 year in jail. The actor, who is now globally known for portraying Tony Stark in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, wasn't always the respected and admired man we know today. In 1996, his life took a dark turn when he was arrested by the police after being pulled over for speeding. What they found in his car was shocking: illegal substances and a weapon, leading to an epic scandal that shook Hollywood and his fans, who couldn't believe their idol had fallen so low. Despite the severity of the situation, he was placed on probation. However, the actor's battle against his inner demons didn't end there, as 3 years later, he violated the terms of his probation and was sentenced to 3 years in state prison. Initially, he felt completely out of place in that hostile environment until he began to find his footing, whether by interacting with other inmates, participating in a Christmas choir, or even working in the prison kitchen, where he earned a mere 8 cents an hour. His time behind bars was a harsh lesson. After nearly a year, a judge determined that he had paid his debt to society, so he was released, and with renewed determination, he returned to the entertainment industry. Not only did he reclaim his career, but he also reached unimaginable heights, winning an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor for Oppenheimer, and starring in some of the biggest box office hits of the last decade as part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe cast. Kristen Stewart cheated on Robert Pattinson. On July 17, 2012, Hollywood was rocked when a series of images surfaced showing Kristen Stewart cheating on her then-boyfriend Robert Pattinson with Rupert Sanders, the director of Snow White and The Huntsman. Through the intervention of paparazzi, the shocking rendezvous between the actress and the filmmaker was captured, causing the scandal to explode like a bomb in the global press. Kristen was devastated at having jeopardized her relationship with Robert, while Rupert Sanders, married and a father of 2, was completely distraught over the pain he had caused to his family, especially his wife, model Liberty Ross. The betrayal quickly became public, leading Robert Pattinson into a deep sadness, feeling betrayed and humiliated. According to close sources, he was so depressed that his friend and co-star from Water for Elephants, Reese Witherspoon, offered him her ranch in Ojai, California, as a refuge from the constant media harassment. Despite Robert's efforts to forgive his partner and try to save their relationship, the damage was already done. Trust had been shattered, and the romance was never the same again. In 2013, during the time the English actor was filming The Rover in Australia, new rumors of an imminent breakup began circulating, which were confirmed in May of that year. Arnold Schwarzenegger had an affair with his housekeeper. Throughout a career that stretches back to the 1970s, the Austrian maintained a clean image free from major controversies, even while holding the challenging position of governor of California. However, his biggest scandal began sometime in 1991 when Mildred Patricia Baena was hired as a housekeeper in the opulent mansion he shared with his wife, Maria Shriver. What seemed like a simple domestic job turned into the center of a monumental disaster as the line between professional and personal blurred, leading to an extramarital affair that changed their lives forever. The most shocking part was that while Mildred Baena was pregnant with the son she named Joseph, Maria Shriver was also expecting Christopher, their fourth child, with the Terminator star. On September 27, 1997, Maria gave birth to her son, while just 5 days later, Mildred brought her baby into the world. For over 2 decades, the couple maintained the facade of a perfect life, an illusion that crumbled in 2011 when Schwarzenegger stepped down as governor of California and the truth came to light. In his book, Total Recall, Arnold not only confirmed the affair but revealed that he realized the undeniable resemblance between himself and Joseph as the boy grew. For years, he tried to convince himself that Mildred's husband was the father, but the evidence was before his eyes in every gesture and feature of his son. Even though the actor admitted that his infidelity was a monumental mistake, he fully embraced his role as a father in Joseph's life. Nowadays, their relationship is close, and the young man, who inherited the impressive physique of the bodybuilder-turned-actor, is often seen training in the gym alongside him, making it clear that paternal love prevails above all else. Brad Pitt cheated on Jennifer Aniston. One of the major romances of the 90s was between this actor and the star of Friends, leading many fans to label them as the dream couple. In fact, some described them as the perfect pair, so much so that Brad even made a memorable guest appearance on an episode of Friends, the hit series that catapulted Jennifer to stardom. But, as often happens in many love stories in Hollywood, happiness didn't last. In 2005, rumors of infidelity began circulating linking Brad with his co-star from Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Angelina Jolie. What initially seemed like mere tabloid gossip soon became a painful reality when Brad and Jennifer announced their separation. Rumors of a romance between Brad and Angelina turned out to be true. In no time, they became Hollywood's most famous couple, even overshadowing the glow of their previous relationships. That same year, they began to expand their family by adopting Zahara from Ethiopia, and the following year, they announced they were expecting their first biological daughter, Shiloh, who was born in Namibia amid global media coverage. Their family continued to grow with the adoption of Pax from Vietnam, Maddox from Cambodia, and the arrival of twins Knox and Vivian in 2008. Despite the image of a united and happy family, the love story between Brad and Angelina began to crumble. In August 2014, they married in a secret ceremony in France, but just 2 years later, Angelina filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. The drama didn't end there, as Brad was soon accused again of infidelity, this time with French actress Marion Cotillard during the filming of Allied in 2015, and he also faced accusations from his children, who labeled him a violent father and severed all ties with him. Beyoncé dismissed her Destiny's Child bandmates. In the late 90s, this girl group revolutionized the music industry with their unmatched blend of harmonious voices, electrifying choreography, and unforgettable songs that reached millions of fans worldwide. In front of the cameras, these girls presented themselves as an inseparable group of sisters united by music. But behind the scenes, the reality was much darker, as Beyoncé took on the role of leader and exercised a tight grip over the group's destiny, treating her bandmates more like employees than fellow performers. The power imbalance became evident when Beyoncé began to shine as the brightest star in the group. While her bandmates struggled to find their place in the industry, she reaped overwhelming success. For example, Michelle Williams released a gospel album titled Heart to Yours, which sold only 17,000 copies in its first week. On the other hand, Kelly Rowland recorded the alternative pop project Simply Deep, which sold just over 600,000 units. Ultimately, Beyoncé eclipsed both with her album Dangerously in Love, which dominated the charts with 11 million copies sold. When the single ladies performer realized her success as a solo artist was assured, she didn't hesitate to leave Destiny's Child. As if that weren't enough, she had the audacity to say she was relieved that the bad seeds had been left behind and even criticized Michelle's voice. claiming it wasn't as clear as Kelly Rowland's. But the controversies didn't end there. On another occasion, Beyoncé was accused of stealing ideas from others without giving them credit, such as when she admitted in an interview that she attended Broadway shows to inspire her ideas. Moreover, she faced harsh criticism for not acknowledging the work of the producers and writers who contributed to Crazy in Love, her first major solo hit, claiming that she had written the song entirely by herself without anyone's help. Taylor Swift became a symbol for neo-Nazis. In an unexpected turn of events, the singer found herself embroiled in the tense political climate of recent years when a group of white supremacists declared her their Aryan goddess, claiming she secretly shared the far-right beliefs that have caused so much controversy. Although Taylor has never been affiliated with any such groups, her prolonged silence in the face of these accusations sparked a storm of speculation, leading many to believe she might indeed align with neo-Nazi ideologies. An investigation by the news site Vice revealed that these accusations stemmed from a far-right blog that labeled her the princess of the neo-Nazi movement and praised her supposed Aryan Nordic blood. The same site attempted to back its claims by pointing out that the singer has no friends of color, a statement that crumbles in light of her career, during which she has collaborated with numerous musicians of various races. Proponents of this theory argue that the singer has never expressed leftist political ideas, unlike other celebrities, and that some of her songs, like Bad Blood, supposedly contain messages in favor of white supremacy. They even suggest that her demeanor fits that of an Aryan woman. It's true that Swift's perfect girl image has generated controversies in the past, such as when a journalist labeled her an elitist Nazi Barbie. But the truth is that she has largely avoided political topics throughout her career and has used her influence and earnings to help disadvantaged communities since her early days in the industry. The rise and fall of Lindsay Lohan. The girl who was once Hollywood's rising star experienced a personal and professional collapse that shook her career, to the point of disappearing from the screen for a while. After starring in several children's and teen movies, everything began to unravel in May 2007 when she was arrested for driving under the influence. This incident not only put her in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, but also cost her role in the film Poor Things. After spending 45 days in rehab, it seemed she might get a second chance. But just 9 weeks later, she was arrested for drunk driving following a police chase. Absurdly, despite the severity of her actions, the judge sentenced her to just 24 hours in jail, of which she served a mere 84 minutes. The rest of her sentence was completed with community service and 3 years of probation. The drama didn't end there. In May 2010, she violated the terms of her probation by missing a court date to attend the Cannes Film Festival. This resulted in a 90-day jail sentence, but due to overcrowding in California prisons, she was released after just 14 days behind bars. Lindsay Lohan's life during that period was a whirlwind of scandals and questionable decisions, marking the decline of one of the most promising stars of her generation. Fortunately, in recent years, she managed to get her life back on track, formed a family with Bader Shammas, and is set to make her return to Disney with the sequel to Freaky Friday, planned for release in 2025. Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe Kardashian. On April 12, 2018, the socialite and basketball player celebrated the birth of their first daughter, True. However, what should have been a moment of pure happiness was marred by an unforgivable controversy. While Khloe patiently awaited the arrival of their baby in Cleveland, devastating rumors began to circulate when Tristan was spotted in New York, cheating on her with another woman. This scandal was just the beginning of a wave of reports suggesting that infidelity was not an isolated incident, as Tristan had been unfaithful multiple times with several women. Despite the media storm and personal turmoil, Tristan was by her side for True's birth. The couple tried to maintain an appearance of normalcy, seeking to provide their daughter with the family life she deserved. However, on February 19, 2019, the drama escalated when even more explosive rumors emerged. Tristan had cheated again, this time with someone much closer to their life. It was Jordyn Woods, Kylie Jenner's best friend, which made the betrayal even more painful and public. Party attendees claimed to have seen Tristan and Jordyn passionately kissing. This was the final straw for Khloe, who decided to end her relationship with the then Cleveland Cavaliers player for good. After nearly a year and a half apart, they surprisingly reunited to build a family together with their daughter. Moreover, the couple was together for most of 2020 and 2021 and even had a second child in June 2022, whom they named Tatum. But what seemed like the beginning of a perfect family life was shattered when Tristan was once again accused of infidelity after fathering a child with a personal trainer named Marilee Nichols. Consequently, Khloe ended the relationship and declared that she had no intentions of letting him back into her life. Ellen DeGeneres accused of bullying. "Be kind" was the phrase the talk show host repeated at the end of each episode of her hit show, which aired from 2003 to 2022. The harsh truth is that what was shown on screen was far from the reality behind the scenes, as accusations from her own employees began to surface in 2020, claiming that the toxic work environment on her set was marked by fear and discrimination. As the accusations multiplied, an investigation was launched to determine the extent of these controversies. The situation became untenable when the show started losing sponsors, and celebrities began to avoid appearing on the show for fear of getting caught up in harassment and bullying scandals. The breaking point came at the beginning of the pandemic when the host, from the comfort of her mansion, compared following social distancing rules to being in prison. At the same time she made these remarks, dozens of studio workers were fired and replaced with non-union staff to pay them less. The impact of these revelations became even more evident when Kevin T. Porter, a well-known podcast host, issued a challenge on social media. For every negative story he received about Ellen, he would donate $2 to a food bank. The response was overwhelming, as he received over 300 messages from employees and people close to the comedian detailing her cruel and humiliating treatment. Faced with so many controversies and a plummeting audience, the show was canceled after 19 seasons, leaving the comedian in such a precarious situation that no television network dared to hire her. Axl Rose took over Guns N' Roses. The meteoric rise of the Californian band to become one of the biggest names in rock in the late 80s is a story that seems straight out of a Hollywood movie. The 5 young musicians who formed Guns N' Roses left their past lives behind and reinvented themselves as rock royalty. But as quickly as they reached stardom, they also fell from grace. As fame grew, lead singer Axl Rose began to exercise tyrannical control over the group, causing guitarist Slash to label his bandmate a dictator who issued orders to his subjects without consideration. This internal tension, combined with the band's reputation for explosive live shows, soon began to take its toll. Some concerts ended in tragedy, such as during the Monsters of Rock tour when 2 fans were crushed during one of their performances. Not long after, they performed in St. Louis, where Axl Rose sparked a riot by storming off the stage in anger, resulting in $200,000 worth of damages. These incidents, along with the poor reception of their cover album, The Spaghetti Incident, in 1993, marked the beginning of a period of low productivity and growing distance among the band members. Although they never officially disbanded, the lineup of the group fell apart. Slash was the first to resign in 1996. The following year, Matt Sorum and Duff McKagan also left, leaving Axl Rose as the only original member. At that point, the singer legally claimed Guns N' Roses, registering the band name and its song catalog as his property, leaving the others powerless to contest it. What followed was a bitter feud that stretched for years, with the guitarist and singer trading accusations through the media, declaring themselves mortal enemies. To the surprise of their fans, they seemed to resolve their differences, or at least learn to tolerate each other enough to reunite on stage. The outcome was that the band completed 2 concert tours that, according to critics, seemed more motivated by the desire to make millions than by a genuine reconciliation to create new music. Love triangle between Charles, Princess Diana, and Camilla. King Charles III of England fell deeply in love with Camilla Parker Bowles long before his life became intertwined with Lady Diana. He likely would have married Camilla had it not been for the royal family's disapproval, which deemed her unsuitable to become the future Queen of England. Moreover, some family members believed Camilla did not meet the standards of purity and nobility required by royalty, leading to the end of their relationship while Charles spent time away serving in the Royal Navy, and Camilla married Army officer Andrew Parker Bowles. In November 1977, fate intervened again when Charles met Diana Spencer while dating her older sister. What began as a seemingly simple relationship quickly transformed into a royal engagement in July 1980. Most surprisingly, the couple had only seen each other 13 times before the future king proposed, which led to speculation that they barely knew one another when they married. The entire world watched in fascination as the young and beautiful Diana walked into Westminster Abbey to become a princess, but behind the grand ceremony loomed a shadow that darkened her happiness: Camilla, who was invited to the ceremony and apparently never left Prince Charles's heart. By the mid-80s, whispers began to circulate about the royal marriage being a sham, especially after the birth of William and Harry, who ultimately filled their father with love. The couple's differences began to surface, and it became evident that Diana was deeply unhappy, feeling isolated and trapped in her role as a royal. On the other hand, Charles remained committed to his love for Camilla, who, like Diana, had married but ended up divorced in 1995. After years of suffering and public scandals, Diana finally decided to leave her marriage in 1996, a year before the couple divorced. Shortly after the split, Charles and Camilla began to rekindle their love, which remained a secret until the news broke. Tragically, their relationship was forever marked by Diana's untimely death in a car accident in Paris on August 31st, 1997. Paul McCartney was arrested in Japan. The arrival of the former Beatle at Tokyo International Airport on January 16, 1980, was shaping up to be a historic event. It was his first visit to Japan since the Beatles' tour in 1966, but what was supposed to be a series of concerts across 11 cities quickly turned into a nightmare when customs authorities discovered nearly half a kilogram of illegal substances in his luggage. The musician attempted to convince the authorities that the quantity was only for personal use, but the magnitude of the find put him on the brink of a smuggling charge, a crime in Japan that could carry a sentence of up to 7 years in prison. Moreover, the Asian country has a reputation for strict laws regarding narcotics, leading many fans to fear the worst: the possibility of a music legend ending up behind bars for nearly a decade. To everyone's surprise, McCartney managed to avoid that fate, primarily because his status as an international superstar allowed him to leave the detention center after just 9 days. Despite the tough experience, the performer of Let It Be didn't forget about his Japanese fans and returned to Japan on several occasions, including his last performance in 2018 as part of the Secret Gigs tour. Chris Brown's arrest. In February 2009, the music world was rocked when the rapper was arrested for brutally assaulting his then-girlfriend, fellow singer Rihanna, in an altercation before the Grammy Awards. The violence of the incident left the Barbados-born artist with serious injuries and shocked millions of fans worldwide. During his court appearance, it was revealed that this was not an isolated incident, as he had already been involved in 2 previous cases of domestic violence. As a result, Brown was sentenced to 5 years of probation, 180 days of community service, and required to complete a year-long educational program on domestic violence. However, the rapper's legal troubles didn't end there, as he was sentenced to a year in prison in 2014 for violating the terms of his probation. Although he received credit for 234 days already served, he had to return to jail to complete the remaining 131 days, leading his reputation and career into a critical state from which it took many years to recover. O.J. Simpson was convicted of robbery, just 13 years after being acquitted in the most publicized trial of all time. On October 3, 2008, the former football player and actor made headlines again, but this time as a convicted man. Simpson was sent to prison on a series of serious charges, including conspiracy to commit a crime, attempted kidnapping, robbery, and 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. It all began in September 2007, when in a fit of desperation, he broke into a hotel room in Las Vegas, where he attacked 2 men in an attempt to recover sports memorabilia that he claimed had been stolen from him years earlier. According to Simpson, the items were taken from his home in 1995, the same year his life changed forever when he was tried and acquitted for the murder of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson. Following his arrest, the trial was swift and conclusive, with him being found guilty on all counts, leading to a sentence of 33 years in prison, of which he had to serve at least 9 years. After 8.5 years at the Overlock Correctional Facility in Nevada, O.J. Simpson was released on October 1, 2017, and spent the rest of his days making television appearances and selling memorabilia from his football career until his passing on April 10th, 2024. Now tell me, do you know of other celebrity scandals that shook the world? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Here are two options that you'll surely love.